Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our weekly Oversalt tournament. This is your color caster Farix joining, play-by-play caster Farix, joining by your color caster Wavy. Say hello, Wavy.
Hello everybody, my name is Yokai and I'll be your color caster today, and in front of us right now we have Eclipse Luna and Sarcasm Squad, two teams which I'm actually fairly familiar with, particularly Eclipse Luna, who Nightchill, who I believe will be their flex support player today, possibly their main support, but he is a monster on that Ana and I can't wait to see that and what else these teams have to offer in this matchup.
Well, since we're on that topic, what do you expect to see of this matchup?
I can imagine that we're going to see a lot of, these standard 3-3 compositions, or as it's been known in the community, the GOATS composition, where, it's a very high sustain at the same time, very high space. And we're actually going to be moving straight in here to Route 66, a map where, we may actually see something different, something that a lot of the lower ranked players watching may actually be very familiar with, the triple or quad DPS compositions popularized by certain teams in Korean contenders. They, the aim with that is just to burn through the high HP targets that Ghost presents, and we'll either probably see a very early hold or that defensive composition coming out from the defense here.
Well, I have to give you, but while the match is starting, I want to go a little bit off topic and say the topic of God's composition. Have there been anything regarding some versatility in composition? Can anything that would you expect to see some surprises to entertain the spectators, at least during the season?
Well, I did mention Nightchill's Ana, and he's already showing it right now, so it does look like they're actually going to run this triple DPS, never mind, not triple DPS, but this double sniper composition on the defense here from Eclipse Luna, and on the offense, are we going to see Shiro's Bastion here? We'll have to wait and see. Of course, they do like to mess with us and have a bit of fun and troll those troll us casters, but right now he's not swapping.
Very well then. Well, we're on this topic and while the team preparation, we apologize because I will need a minute regarding, because I believe some of the production crew is not very much present in the game. So please just stand by for just a minute in the meantime.
Right now, they're not much is happening in the game, though. They're just kind of jockeying around the corner, waiting for that space to open up. And Scientist is immediately going to go down. And so is Date Service as well, and that right there may well do this fight straight away. Shiro positioning to try and get that shield down quickly. But we will probably going to have to go into a pause here due to the, like we mentioned, the production crew not being here. A little bit of a mistake on our part, but we'll get that sorted swiftly.
Sorry. Welcome back, ladies and gents. Welcome back, ladies and gents. We're sorry for the production issue, but I believe you had a smooth sailing on this train because that's what we saw earlier, correct? Just a pirate looting some booty over there.
Well, that payload did not stop at all. It seemed like we missed a lot of Bastion action, a lot of just sitting on the payload with those supports, and a lot of healing going at that character. And right now, Eclipse Luna are with their backs against the wall. They have to pull out something and capture this payload, preferably with the maximum time bank themselves. But it's not looking good for them at the minute. But they do have the spawn advantage here. They are going to be able to possibly withstand this Torbjorn pick on the defense here. So it'll be interesting to see how they play this. Maybe they'll pull it a bit like Atlanta played it on Ilios on the Overwatch League. So enough about that. What do you think we're going to see out of these teams after that first round?
Well, I expected to see Denzel Washington from the movie Unstoppable, because that's what exactly I was told what happened in the last round. Omni this time playing double sniper and the Winston against a variation of goats. Anything can happen because look at where they are going to start positioning. The question is, will they anticipate them? If they're gonna go a sneak attack and the turret is just something off the horn of warning, and they're getting up in an early brawl. With the Torbjorn just basically swooping up most of the tanks up in there, forcing the blue team to rush back quickly. That was pretty quickly, not until the Torbjorn suffices, gets sacrificed by the Hanzo. But that's just still enough for the red team to just put again Eclipse Lunar back against the wall once more.
They are going to be winning this out though, because they do have the spawn advantage and they traded pretty evenly. Also on defense here, they don't actually have a diva, so these double snipers are going to be pretty much uncontested if they can take up the sight lines.
And just as you say that, the Widow basically gives a wide burst with first take out, allowing the rest of the team to wipe a big shatter. Gets two in the back, even despite spawn advantage. Somehow they still got the high ground, even with a disadvantage. What a phenomenal performance! A three-man crew, damn.
That was great. They really played it slowly. They played it patiently, more importantly. And they used who was there to just hold the space they had. They didn't try and push it. They didn't push their luck. They just held their position. And right now, the tanks of Eclipse here are going to have to seemingly put a lot more pressure on Urazi, on this Torbjorn, on his turret. Because right now, that is putting down so much work.
And here it is, basically with a nano nade, trying to stop everybody, but not until the Reinhardt pushes the Winston back, forcing him to go up in the ulti, and he successfully gets Zarya off the edge. And now he's charging back, and now still the Goats variant is still holding their ground, despite having analytical advantage here. Just having it on paper is not enough. They seem to have no answer, even though their composition seems to be superior in a way.
I really like this swap over to the Sombra from Sandy X though. He's just waiting there. He's going to try and get a hack, preferably on one of the supports or the Reinhardt. So on the side, they are also going to swap back over to the Brigitte and the Reinhardt, so a much more stable front line. They're just going to swing back and forth until the bubbles do eventually come out. Oh!
The Transcend as well, and basically safe as everybody is needed, but still there is not enough. And with the lava making Lunar Eclipse tap dancing for their lives, looks like they don't have enough cash to spend, and out of that spawn room they are just flat broke. They are grounded.
The bubbles came out early, but they did not punish that. That's what you've got to be doing with these ghost compositions, and Sadix has to build up this EMP quick. He has to get this up and punish the side of Sarcasm Squad, because otherwise they are going to hold. They're still holding with only 2 meters. Oh, another shatter!
Another shatter right in front of the front door, adding insult to injury with only 14 minutes left on the clock. The blue team's Brigitte, Eclipse Lunar trying to stack up some armor, maybe some breaths, because they have too much water in their lungs to breathe. Now like they're out in the front door, they're brawling. Will they get them off their property? That is just what a predicament. Even despite needed, there is no damage. Oh, that grab! That grab is going to basically take everybody out, and they're just flowing like right on that Torpdion just busted the Brigitte's kneecap. With 10 seconds left on the clock, we are probably going to face and very early, very swift game one. No, but I spoke too soon on overtime. They're just rushing towards the payload.
Here we go.
With AMP's out. Will we finally see some results? Oh no, that's not good news. They lost to the Reinhardt. Blue team is basically spread apart. That is not looking good for them. They're going up all over the map. Still desperately trying now to just save. On overtime, it's not looking good for them. Even despite spawn advantage, just going anything. Hammer, Tracer, everybody who is fast, trying to climb up on the payload and dogpile as fast as possible, but to no avail. Sarcasm takes this game very early on.
That was a very dominant performance coming out from Sarcasm squad, but also Eclipse Luna just seemed to get rid, not take advantage of the advantages they were given. There was 2 or 3 fights in that round where they had the advantage, they had the spawn advantage, and they were trading out, but they didn't play it patiently. They went in without their main tank. They went in without a key part of their composition, and I think that did definitely cost them in this round. However, hope is not lost. With that is Escort, and that's a very different map type compared to the other ones we're probably going to see in this series. So, and of course the supports were a very bright part of the side of Eclipse Luna as well. So, Arazi pulling out a great performance on the Torbjorn as we saw, but not all is lost yet. There is still another map or two, and this is a best of 3 series. So, we'll have to see where the next map takes us.
We have to. Yoka, if I remember correctly, you are basically have experience with Lunar. How do you think their adaptability? Do you think we'll see another Goat versus Goat variant to cause some equilibrium to Sarcasm's?
I think, well, first of all, I have experience with Eclipse, the organization in general. I spent a bit of time with Luna, more so with their A-team Solar, but yeah, their adaptability was alright. It definitely could have been better, but it was a very strong part of their core roster. And right now, Nightshell, not usually a member of this roster, I don't believe, but of course they are playing around that well. Nightshell's showing a very good Honor so far, and the Honor already is showing that this adaptability is there. Honor not exactly a very prominent hero in this meta due to D.Va just being able to cancel out nearly all of that healing. So already we're seeing little shines of greatness here and there for the side of Lunar, and I think they just need to pull it all together and really show what they've got when it matters most.
Well, as the saying goes, when you push a man back far enough, they eventually push back. So hopefully that loss has caused Lunar to be more aware, more alert, just maybe just like a wake-up call. And we do pray indeed to see if they can bring a comeback, because honest to God knows I love me a good comeback.
Comeback stories are always great, and I also love cheering for the underdog, which after that first map I would definitely say that Luna is filling that role very well. So killing 2 birds with 1 stone if that was to happen. But first they're gonna have to get through this King's Row map right here, and of course King's Row notorious for the tank heavy compositions. Even before Goats was a thing, we were seeing Ryan and Zarya death balls on this map. So they're gonna have to get through this tank heavy, the death ball composition of Sarcasm squad, which has already shown itself to be fantastic. But holding this high ground with a classic bunker comp, we haven't seen this for a little while from any real team. So let's see how well practiced this is and see how how great is this. Actually a Reaper coming out on the other side, and Owl immediately taking out Dark Rising.
Oh no, looks like the Reaper gambled and lost, basically finding the higher ground, evening up the score. The Lucio basically just slide around and boop people off the edge. Now with the high ground being lost by most, looks like Sarcasm is out of jokes, just easily taking the first point away from Lunar.
Luna gonna lose that first point, and the worst part is look at the ultimate situation on the side. They got nearly no ult charge from that fight. Dark Rising is gonna cancel out Owl, so he's gonna have a bit more space here. The Widowmaker is not gonna be a threat. just going to keep kind of holding back, and he's actually just won as well. The fight hasn't even started yet. Although, look at the backline, and Tronjia is actually waiting for a flank. He's looking for the backline, but yeah, the ultimates are not good until Dark Rising again.
Well, Dark Rising basically giving ability wide burst for his enemy, but not until Owl base takes him out, and now they got the high ground advantage with so much room to breathe, giving all that nice big wide burst for their team. Red stuff on the Reinhardt, maybe he can do some work for it. Maybe a champ of redemption for Sarcasm, because no irony is coming thus far.
There are no jokes. This is a completely serious attack coming out from Sarcasm Squad. John Jay on that Reinhardt, building up the shadow so fast with a nano boost, and Battle Ball is still sitting only at 75%. So he's got to get it up quickly, and I'm going to be watching Date Service to see if he can and cancel out this shadow when it happens. On the other side, they do have the nano boost as well, so they could put a lot into Battle Ball in this fight, but they have to get it done quickly and have to be decisive.
Okay, with one 5v6 advantage going their side. Here comes the hammer to even out that score. More red stuff, but the Transcendence saves him, and Battleborn, there's all the blue stuff, charges through, gives wide burst for the T-Bit, for Dark Rising to take 2 up, and with only 0.13, what a lucky number, ironically, to stop the point going to number 2.
Oh, and they didn't.
Oh, no. Oh, what? What?
Zwan and Owl were in the backlines, and they get that when they step off for a second. You can't let that happen. It seems like 13 is indeed an unlucky number for the side of Luna. Date Service is actually Date Service and Dark Rising picked up 2 at the end there, though, so they are going to be building back up to those ultimates, and they are going to have the Dragon Strike and the Earth Shadow to maybe combo together in some weird way. Shiro's sitting on the Nano Boost, though, so John Jay will likely be pushing forward, and that's a great pick to start off the fight.
A great pick, and hopefully Sarcasm just can you just add more insult to injury than this? Can you just insult? This is deja vu for me at the moment. Like the first round, the last game, this tune just keeps going fun. It's just going stop it to a hold. But that's not a very good advantage looking for Lunar. They need to adapt faster, and just as I say it, as Fire Strike cuts the Grandma into, forcing Sarcasm for once to just get back and recuperate.
If Sarcasm play with fire, they are going to get burned, and Battlebar is very accurate with these fire strikes. I don't think he's actually missed one yet. Getting at least one target with every one he's been doing. He has that shatter as well, so Nightshell may want to throw that Dragon Strike. Dragon Strike coming straight through already.
Oh, John Jay is basically stuck between a rock and a hard dragon, and blue stuff comes up, causing his end. Finally, some momentum is shifting from the other side, forcing once more Sarcasm to just run with their tails around the corner.
I like that. A rock and a spirit dragon. I like that a lot. Oh, that's a very nice grenade though. And they are still gonna have the nano boost now to go into John Jay on the opposite side. And he's gonna. Oh, that's great pick straight away.
Oh, that hammer! That Transcender saved everything, but not until the Diva Bomb, which doesn't find anything. Now it's basically even with only one Reinhardt down, and Dark Rising needs to get some cover, and a Transcender basically to push back. Will they buy it enough time? But there's so much time with 3 minutes, and no Reinhardt! Big shatter, earthquaking, somebody dropped the feet.
Oh, that's big.
And there's another big earthquake. Looks like it's going to be a GG for Sarcasm, even though it was some valiant defense on the last point. Man, how unlucky was that second point cap, or how unexpected was it?
You can't let that happen. You need to know that you haven't killed all 6. You need to know that there is still a Lucio or a Tracer in your backline, and you just can't let that happen. That 0.13 meters could well be the difference between Luna surviving in this series and letting it go, because they could have held there. That's a very strong place to hold. You know, the spawns are roughly even, but also it's just a great choke point to hold if you're the defense. So that may well cost Luna here, but only time will tell. And we're about to see what the insta-locks for the Luna's attack ground are. So maybe we're gonna see something different. Maybe see something interesting here. And oh, I like this. I like this from the side of Sarcasm Squad, pulling out the Bastion here. So they pulled it out on Route 66. So let's see how they do it here.
Wow, very well. And looks like, well, you know, as the saying goes, when in doubt, got it out. And that's what Lunar Eclipse seem to be doing at the moment.
Well, indeed, when in doubt, go goats. Like that seems to be the meta right now in this game, and it looks like this is the last resort. They are going to finally go swap to this 3-3 composition, and we haven't actually seen much of it at all today. So, so yeah, looks like they are actually going to come out with Night Chill here on the Lucio, Dark Rising on the Brigitte, and Date Service on that trusty Zenyatta. I'll be looking at see how they time their bubbles and how they get on a target and what rotations they take, because this Bastion is going to shred through that health if they are not careful.
With the low ground health, well, the question is, will Goats basically have answer, as they're actually, even though it's a Bastion on their side, Lunar Eclipse is just seem to be finding the advantage, and now the Bastion is running for this life. Looks like it's going to be an early pick for Lunar Eclipse for once, hasn't.
They are going to take off Zwan as well, so he is not going to have a chance to reposition at the end of second point. John Jay as well, so that's actually a very good position to be in. If you are Eclipse, you capture that very quickly on your first attack, and you nearly have that Earth Shadow online for Battle Boar as well. Maybe combo it with, I didn't quite see how much ult charge John Smith had on that D.Va, but we'll see soon when he gets his mech back. Night Chill also near that Sun Barrier, and because the side of Sarcasm Squad didn't actually play Goats from the get-go, they played an interesting composition. They have no ults to speak of, and no ults really close to coming online either, so jockeying back and forth between the right house.
Oh, Night Chill, no chill for him. With that opportunity, it looks like we're gonna have like a big goat versus goat fist, who will basically out-animal the other person. Mule kicked back to their spawn is Team Lunar Eclipse with a fast rush and crush by them.
That was a very fast fight, and that fight was over really before it started. Owl with a great pick onto the key component. It's not like it was maybe a Brigitte, but you can maybe try and win the fight without. Once that Lucio's gone, you have no tool of disengage, and behind them they have there's a Reinhardt behind them. They're looking for the shadow.
Oh! And they basically got another like Impel falling down like dominoes, and the kill field is popping up red. Grab takes up 4, but there's no DPS to follow up. They're in the clear. Knock knock, who is there? And they're just playing peekaboo at the moment. They're being spawned. Lunar Eclipse needs to pull some miracle right now, and it's very well past December.
It is. They are being put. These goats are being put back in their pens by the zookeepers. Swan is very close to another shatter again. He's going to look for a pin back to his team, and there is no means to get him back if he misses this. And oh, Lunar taking the rotation, so he's going to have to quickly get back to his team. But they do have the D.Va bomb. They do have the nano boost.
But he's very aware. He's taking a very big risk, trying to sneak up from behind. Here it comes! Oh! Snug with the D.Va bomb coming. Can he still receive the team? He does! And another charge by Battle or finds something, giving him the opportunity to shimmer Sudden of his teammates. The risk, the out of positioning, is just basically a gambling house, a casino of abilities at this time being. D.Va bomb explodes, doesn't find anything, but doesn't matter. Sarcasm, too serious for jokes, just wins this fight.
This has been brutal. They haven't even had a chance to build any ultimates, and when they have, they've used them and immediately been countered just by the fantastic ultimate economy on the side of Sarcasm Squad right now. And Luna have to find an answer quick. They only have 3 minutes to push this payload to the end. They need to. They find Zwan right there, but they're not going. Oh, they are. They are going to find him. They're going to punish them. They have to. They don't.
No,
they lose the main side.
They lose the main. How it can be that possible? With now the Transcendence popping up in the bottle, even though fighting not unnecessary. It doesn't matter. It's just everybody spreading for the advantage of the red team, and Zarya being cornered, and she doesn't want to be in that hotel's terrible documentary, rushing back to her spawn. Red team, Sarcasm is going to group up once more, and look at the payload. It just backed up all the way from the start. It's like nothing even happened.
This is fantastic positioning as well. You may be surprised to see such a split. Oh, that's a great shot.
Oh my god. They can't even watch out for a big 500-pound German dude that's being like shattered, forced off their feet from behind. That seems very bleak. Let's see if any adaptability can come out from Lunar Eclipse at the moment.
They just seem to be outplayed by the superior tactics on the side of Sarcasm Squad, and they still, the ultimate economy, they haven't had to use the sound barrier once, nor the nano boost is back online again as well, and this ultimate economy has been the bane of the side of Luna, although they are going to find a Razzie, so this is a great way to engage.
Okay, red stuff on the Diva. Can she make anything? We're being a 42 disadvantage. It doesn't seem to be that way. Looks like finally with 1 minute 24 seconds on the clock, where she's losing her car, putting it auto on self-destruct, getting the Zenyatta, but doesn't matter. Being too close to the spawn, almost make it negligible. Finally, this payload is gonna keep moving with 1 minute left on the clock.
This is a great hold if you are the side of Sarcasm Squad, though. Look at how much time they've burned off since the start of this round. They burned nearly 5 minutes off the clock. We said it was a great time bank for the side of Luna, but look at it now. Look at the ultimates as well. They're gonna have to shatter.
I thought I was gonna do something more crazy. Oh, look at Battleball. Look at the crazy Reinhardt hammer down!
6 man!
Somebody, I can hear like the jackpot ringing, ding, 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 and it's just enough for them for Lunar Eclipse to get the second point with only 30 seconds left on the clock. Incredible gambit.
Oh, they're gonna stagger out Shiro as well. It's a very good stagger. Crucially, they only actually used two ultimates there. They used the Earthshatter and they used the Diva Bomb. That's all they use, which means they're going to have the Sound Barrier, they're going to have the Graviton coming in the next fight, and they are going to have to fight into an Earthshatter, a Rally, and the Sound Barrier of Sarcasm Squad as well, though, so they're going to have to make these ultimates work, but they have a good shot!
Oh my god! You got the right flush, I got a full house, man! Finally, the Sound Barrier is up, but it doesn't save Zenyatta for being scraps. Now both team down on their Zen, with his advantage slowly shifting the momentum for red team, and Lucius says goodbye and he goes down to hell. Just the payload is being rolled. Swan charges, doesn't find anything, swings, but nothing is going down. Iron Shatter ready! Another one takes out two, enough to take out both Master and Student out. That doesn't seem very bleak with 1 minute left on the block. Lunar Eclipse is standing on their last legs. Will they able to swim to the surface with too much water down in their lungs?
This is a great position to be in if you are the side of Sarcasm Squad. I've said that a lot about each of these teams. Okay, a bit of a preemptive transcendence, but maybe looking to get aggressive here.
Hammer time!
Oh
my god, the shatters in this game has been insane! A follow-up gives a spare for the Diva Bomb to basically takes out 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh my god, we might actually have this if Zenyatta gets on the payload. Looks like we're going in for round 3. There is only a little bit seconds left. And the Graviton is out. Zip stalls. Oh, this is going to be so close.
Nitro goes down.
Very clutch. Very clutch. And now with Nightfall getting advantage. I cannot believe this. I cannot believe this. It was only just a tongue lip away from getting the point. They are gonna lose this. Sarcasm is gonna GG. It was so close. What a valiant effort, but not enough cash for Lunar Eclipse. That was insane.
There was a lot of very big shadows coming out from those Reinhardts, so I can guarantee this play of the game is going to be one from Zwan right there. These Reinhardts were very good at finding their angles, and this was... Oh, that was beautiful. I especially love Zwan's Reinhardt play. It was so stellar, so well done, and I think he readily deserves, at least from my mind, he deserves player of the match in my books.
Indeed. But how many maps? Is it best out of 5, best out of 3? All right, so it's confirmed now. It's best out of three. That means Sarcasm, being serious fit, is going to advance to the next round despite a very good show of performance in the last match. This is Ferex along with your color caster. Okay, we are just gonna go ahead for a break, and we'll be just right back.
'Cause I've been laying under palm trees, waiting for the summer, knowing there's nowhere to go. 'Cause I am happy on this island, wanna be my farmland. I don't ever want to leave, I'm in a tropic club. I'm in a tropic club.
To our third place match for Oversalt. We in this matchup we're having Eclipse Lunar versus WS Interceptors.
And as we just saw, Eclipse Luna did have an unfortunate 2-0 defeat to the side of Sarcasm Squad. However, this is an opportunity for them to really show what's what they can actually do. The series, of course, again is a best of 3 series. Map pool for today is going to be Gibraltar. It's going to be on top of that will be King's Row again, and to round it all out, it will be on that third map, Ilios. So if we make 2 map 3, we'll be going to Ilios, but first map here is going to be Gibraltar, and let's break it down a bit. Gibraltar, of course, is a very strong dive map, and as I say all this, we will be actually moving straight in. But Gibraltar is, of course, a very dive-oriented map. Even in these tank-heavy compositions, you need to control that blue box on the corner You know, it gives you such great sight lines and such great positioning to dive onto the enemy. And when the sight lines for a Widowmaker or a Hanzo are, you know, so strong, I think that having that blue box, and it's renowned as a community, having the blue box is going to give you a massive advantage. And if you can't control that with tanks, then you may be in trouble.
Indeed. When we saw the last game, we have seen Eclipse Lunar playing a dive with a Widow with double sniper or Widow Hanzo. Maybe they will have to utilize that that composition for that advantage.
They could do. Some very popular DPS picks on this map are the Widowmaker, and that's already what we're seeing on the offense. However, you also see the Genji comboed with him, so it'll be interesting to see whether they run the Hanzo, whether they run the Genji, or maybe they run something completely different like a Tracer to really harass the backline. However, on the defense, we do actually see a variation on the floats composition, which, you know, replaces the Reinhardt, should I say, with the Winston. But they've replaced their Diva with the Sombra as well. So yeah, on the offense, should I say, that's what they have done. Maybe they're looking to scout here on the defense.
And basically, the Winston jumps up the bridge only to find the two tanks up inside, hold up inside there, forcing them to double back up on the high ground. How would you impose basically that these fighters are going to engage?
With a pick like that.
With a pick like that. Dark Rising basically taking out, but now the Winston has taken out his clone apparently, jumping up on the rooftop. This is basically an interesting movement by both teams, just backing up, jumping around like on the high ground.
Aestos is going to find Season 7 sucks though, so I think actually they may well reset here, and yep, they're going to do that. Get as much movement on the payload as they can, but they're going to have to back off here, and I think Season 7 sucks is going to actually go over to the Tracer. And they're gonna make the swap over to the Diva now. So running more of that traditional dive composition, and however they will be fighting in the Nano Boost and currently the Infrasight that's currently active as well. So they're not actually gonna have much to contest Dark Rising aside from Vita here on that Ash. Chase Touch already dropping low as well.
Yeah, coming in a dangerous species at the time being, with the Tracer just running in circles around the Lunar Eclipse. And here comes a big dive. We'll see if anything is going to cash out, forcing, but looks like Lunar doesn't want to play the gambit and just backing up, making sure one of them is out of the position. I hear Dragon Blade and Shish Kebab sliced by Genji with a swift strike, takes out two and slices the other two in half, shawarma style. This is a good hold by Lunar in the assist, and a well play by Sanity X, which have to rename to Insanity.
This was a fantastic hold coming out. This is more of what Lunar were likely expecting to show off coming into this series. This dive is clearly something they've perfected, with Sanity X coming out with a massive 4K Nano Blade there, including the Diva mech as well, although they are going to jockey for blue box, but no trades as of yet, so just jockeying for positioning right now.
Not much ability since the blue box is taken up by a Lunar Eclipse. Maybe they're going to try another. No, they're going to be flanked around with Winston, with Battleborn actually way in the back, and Genji's taking out the Sanity. Everybody spreading up. This is basically the fundamentals of dives. And it's going fairly well for Lunar Eclipse, as they basically conquer and divide. That's what they see him. Battleborn just pushing up and knocking people back away back to their spawn point. There's only 1 minute left on the clock. It's not looking fairly well, but with 2 pick, maybe that can change things around for them.
The interesting thing with Interceptor's composition here is Banshee's actually running the Lucio rather than that Zenyatta for the Discord, so it's harder to finish off these targets. But oh, he slept on the high ground. Chase is going to get chunked down, so that's not good for them.
And the Transcendence is basically up, and was only corner to save them. What will the Diva do? Go up 1-1, and another will it? No, that is just put up on the edge. Not lucky for their Diva, and looks like might able to hold this with 30 seconds left of the clock. Chase basically his ulti trying to knock people away, but that does not give much of a wide burst. I spoke too soon. He has just taken out that Zenyatta, but it was 20 seconds left on the clock. uh, IC does not have any advantage so far in taking this payload around the corner.
Intercept, this is do or die. They're gonna have to get right on Dark Rising here, and they're gonna do just that. And now they're just trying to tank. Oh no! Oh, he's been demaxed. That's tragic.
Back and the blade is out. Will Sanity pull up something crazy? Blue stops on him. Everybody knows that, and everybody is running scared for their lives. Too scared to forget the payload, and hence not enough time to jump back. Round one, only with little the 1.4 Lunar Eclipse. They are looking very well thus far.
And this is where if you're the interceptors, you have to be thinking about, do we play a traditional composition like a dive and just trust that we're going to hold? Or do we maybe play something more unique and catch Luna off guard and make them adapt? Because that's what we've seen them struggle with so far, adapting to what their enemy is doing. Right now, only time will tell. We have about 20 seconds before we will really see what the WS interceptors are thinking. But after that last round, really, the interceptors just didn't seem to ever have a game plan. Their dives were very separated, and Luna did a fantastic job of pressuring Chase Torch when he was diving in, and really punished them for not having that diva there with him. So it does look like they are actually going to stick with this composition: the Lucio Mercy with the dive tanks and that Ash Tracer. On the offense here, maybe putting Joel Smith on the Bastion, or maybe he's just trying to mess with us. Either way, this is definitely a good position to be in if you are Lunar, and you've got to be feeling good about yourselves after that great hold.
Now, saying basically how well Dark Rising is performing, even though they do have a Diva and Winston for on the side of Interceptors, how do you think it'll be fair, especially for the Mercy, who's going to be finding a lot of trouble? What's your take?
I think it's a fantastic pick still. This map allows such great sightlines for Widowmaker from any range, really. So you can play a close range, more offensive Widow, or you can play the more passive Widow that we saw Dark Rising playing there, playing in the safety. Usually we're probably going to see the side of Luna just contest this high ground. Interceptors are going to back off immediately. You don't want to lose any of your members here, but soon enough the fight will start, and Santi already dashing in. He may well get punished for that if he's not careful.
And not punished is his name, but Battle Roar, even despite the payload is moving, just lost their Winston, but with a spawn advantage, maybe that's not going to be go unpunished. Look like Interceptors might actually go for a comeback as they're pushing Lunar back in their spawn. How the table has turned for them.
MKT coming up great with his positioning. He locked Battle Ball in the room by body blocking, and then managed to pick up not only that kill, but also 2 more on top of that. So great job coming out from him. Definitely picking up the pace, and Vita is immediately going to pick up Joel Smith as well, so they're not going to have their Diva for the start of this fight. So they may just want to battle for positioning, but Battle Bar as well.
Oh, looks like so. I'm not sure what's going on with Lunar at the moment, because they don't seem to be faring well, even though at the first corner, this might sound trouble if they don't basically show their adaptation as they did in the last round, or how they haven't adapted actually.
The worst thing for them, though, is that they haven't actually forced out any ultimates yet. And before that fight, before Season 7 used that ult, they had 6 ultimates, and they're going straight in with the 5 of them.
Oh dear oh my, oh dear oh my, they're basically spread around. MKK out of his car, his Transcendence is up. Now finally there's going to be a pushback, taking out their Winston. But will the Mercy get... What? No Mercy, no attempt for Mercy at the moment.
Oh,
Bob
no.
is out, which takes out their Zen, but he goes night-night, falling asleep, being left there at the moment. Even though there has been a pushback momentum, this payload is looking a little bit stagnant, finally a little bit moving, but with Joel Smith, nobody to support him, looks like he's gonna be in a bit of a predicament, forcing back, running away back to his teammate, where Lunar Eclipse is trying to gather up at the moment. Right now fighting over the first high ground of that bridge. Sanity jumping inside, but a very sneaky Tracer finds a bomb, takes up Dark Rising. High ground is safe. Looks like even though they're getting the advantage, Joel is still sneaking up the payload very near, forcing the team to separate. Lucio Tracer in the bag, being taken out. This is starting to look good for Lunar thus far.
This is the situation we need to see more from Luna. They have the advantage right now, but they need to push it. They need to get He needs to use this, and Chase is going to use that Primal Rage and immediately chase Dark Rising down.
Of darkness now is absent of a tracer. It's not looking good for them. Wiz Chase going up and another. Oh, this is a very risky bomb. Oh, but loses the blade, taking out two. With only 45 seconds on the clock and just a hair tips away of getting the payload. Will Lunar actually not make it so far, even though the risk reward is not looking in their favor with so little needed to win? They might not have just enough metal to put it off.
Santix has swapped over to Hanzo now as well. They do have the nano boost, so they do have something to throw on the battle ball here, but he needs to be big with this. He needs to get that Primal Rage online as soon as possible and really open up that space for his team. They have to push it 10 more meters, but they need to do it quick.
Here comes the moment of truth. It's more blue stuff on the Winston. Maybe he'll find someone alone. Takes out the Ash. Oh, now they're getting the back line. Looking very good for Lunar. And now on overtime is a do or die. They're just huddling up now to the point. With now with now MKK out of their car is not looking bleak. Well, this is going to be in their favor. With only so little left. Finally, it is looking good for Team Lunar, pushing up people away. Now we're just having a brawl at the moment. Diva Bomb, will that save the day? No, it just basically gets body blocked by the Winston bubble. With only just one more at the corner left, and with just only little people huddling with Lucio making a comeback. Everybody's holding their breath, and here comes Sanity with his Winston. It's just basically a do or die moment at the moment.
This has been
Bob is out.
Defense.
It has been an crazy fight, but oh my god, that is so not. That's looking grim now for Lunar. All of a sudden, how the table has turned, as the Bob basically takes out two. Then it is out. It's GG for Team Interceptors by
with a
hair thread
fantastic
away.
defense. That defense was so stellar. I was so impressed with that. You know, that offense looked very shaky. Chase Torch and MKT had a really, sloppy dive. They were really mistiming their engages, but throughout the match, they clearly did something. This is a great play, though. Got so much value out of it, and yeah, wow, that's what a great entry player can do for your team. But just not quite enough in Gibraltar. In the halftime, they really went through. They sorted out their ideals. They sorted out their timings. They said we need to time our jumps better, and they did just that. And then as soon as they started to fix things, they brought out the same composition, but they played it so much better. Playing around the Winston a lot more, playing around the damage that the Ash puts out. So overall, great play coming out from Interceptors, and Luna just falling short here on Gibraltar.
Must have left such a bitter taste in their mouth, and as we keep discussing many factors or many previous games before, adaptability is so crucial. Even though Lunar had such a great start, but when the table has turned and their metal has been tested in return, they were just even not able to pull it off, or let us say they were able to closely pull it off, but just again losing by a hair thread away, as seen in the last match.
Absolutely, I do agree with you there. Adaptability is so important here, but I do also think that it comes down to Luna. Just they may have gone a bit. They may have choked a bit because they had that advantage. They had that position where they can, they could really. They had a very easy win condition there. They only had to push it about 74 meters, but they maybe saw that and got a bit complacent, got a bit nervous, and those get to them. We don't know what was going on inside the communications there, but I have a feeling something may have went wrong because it just seemed like between defense and attack, these teams swapped completely on the level of synergy they had.
And that is basically what one of the fundamentals game design is revolved around, is basic team chemistry. You just need to work 6 people working in unison. It's not very easy what most people could think it may be. We are going now for the second map, King. What do you think? We're gonna see a deja vu where we're gonna have more tanks versus tanks?
I have a feeling we will. Kings are, of course, notoriously known for tanks. very early on, you know, the quad tank compositions, Roundhouse Eye Deathball, always been played on this map. But I also think that we may well see that double sniper out from Luna. You know, they've shown it a lot, and this is especially first point is a place where that can be a very strong composition to run. Getting around that Reinhardt shield, what's that going to do against two different sightlines? It leaves a very exposed backline. So right now, it does look like on the defense they're looking to show that May honor goat. So we'll have to see how they play this. Looking to isolate players at the choke. And on the offense here, they are playing. It looks like they're trying to run the Sombra in amidst the Ghost composition here instead of that Zarya. Sorry, the Diva. My mistake.
Well, we can see here. Yes, we have goats, but they just vary in just a little bits of pieces. With 6 seconds left on the clock, we will basically see which of the variant can fare better and which execution is gonna fare better. And they're off doors.
Those are open, and yep, it looks like they're gonna run the Sombra. Now, that's crucial. They get the wall onto the Reinhardt.
He's not looking very good at the moment, but even though he bends back right against the wall, that is just crazy. How did he not get that, and how did he escape? MacGyver. And now is there now with the goats, Lucian's up. They're trying to slowly push him.
Oh no.
Balls up, but nothing gets isolated. This does not look good for Lunar Eclipse at the moment. Looks like their light is waning. And the Wiz looks like it's going to be an easy charge just up into against the wall, but it doesn't matter for them. They are in a good advantage. Sanity is going out for the team with no ice block left. He is being hunted down and eliminated. There's only one person left on the point. This is looking like a very early cap for Team Interceptor.
And I definitely think Luna played that a bit incorrectly. They allowed the Reinhardt to live, and after you've played that aggressively and given up so much positioning, you have to win that fight quick. I love what they're doing here. They're completely abandoning the payload, just leaving the Zen on there alone, pushing very deep and opening up this space.
Oh no, that spells bad news for the Reinhardt, but but he gets needed. They're still not out of the woodworks yet, trying to backdash himself out of the way, almost there, but he gets cut in half by Battlebor's outstanding fire strike. The payload is still moving, but with less with the Reinhardt. Will Lunar Eclipse just push them back, getting a brawl, able to separate the team? Looks like they want to force them back. Season 7 just holding his breath like he's playing a survival horror game. Hammer down finds nothing. Now blue stuff on Battlebore. Now he wants to make some magic happen, but he just gets shut down so quickly. I couldn't believe how fast he died. And just like that, in a blink of an eye, Interceptor just hunted and was just able to easily just get the fight done. It happened so fast. It was unbelievable.
That fight was exactly what the Interceptor actually wanted to avoid. With pushing deep there, you know, that choke's a very good point to hold, especially for a Ghost composition. However, it does look like Sendex has swapped over to the Hanzo now, so looking to maybe scout out Season 7-6, but oh, that's a massive EMP!
And fast EMP basically, it takes out Battleborn. Maybe this is going to be a smooth sailing as Sanity runs off for his life back. It doesn't, he has made it out alive, but at the cost of Interceptor just gaining the second point.
That was a great EMP, and maybe the only saving grace for that fight was that they didn't get to use those ultimates because of the EMP. However, look at the side of the Interceptors. They have 4 ultimates online still, compared to the 5 of the Luna right now. So they're still in a good position, and that's a great pick to start off this fight.
And now with the stalemate going off on the payload currently at the moment, looks like it's going shifting for Team Lunar, but I guess since we're having 2 Reinhardt, it's more of a mind game. Sombra's trying to sneak behind, but he was able to be sniffed out by Battleborn, forcing him back to his teammate. Hammer swinging, getting hit, and it finally looks like the rally is up, causing Team Interceptors to finally just shift the momentum a little bit around the corner. Firestar gets a big grab, is coming out. Well, anything will happen. Dragons to counter, trying to save. Here comes the big shatter by Chase Torch, lighting the way. But he gets carried off, isolated by Battleborn. But that just pissed him off anymore, taking him out as well. Looks like this is looking very good for Team Interceptors, winning this fight. It's like is it gonna be a GG with only two little people? Oh, blue stuff on Brigitte. Will she ever make anything happen? With only maybe she's able to take out the other Brigitte. She is needed. No, there's nothing happens at the moment. It's looking good for Team Battle Bombers. 0.11. Oh, this comeback will be insane. 0.11 meters, and the Lunar Eclipse is winning the defense. I hope nobody gets it. The other payload is alone, and if nobody's gonna try to sneak on it. Oh, they actually defended it just a hairbreadth away. That was crazy.
That was a very close fight, but look at the ultimate situation right now. They only have the Dragon Strike. They nearly have the Earth Shatter, but they need to get that online quickly. And look at the other side as well. They're gonna have the EMP, they're gonna have the Shadow, they're gonna have the Rally, and they're gonna build up to that Transcendence very quickly. And keep your eye on Season 7, because he is gonna be looking for that EMP, and look how grouped up the side of Luna are right now. He's going in.
Oh, look,
3,
we're keeping
2,
an eye.
1, boom!
Oh, that was fantastic. Call out, and here come the dragon. That doesn't. Oh, it does. Gets two up in the back, but that might be the saving grace that Team Lunar needed. That was just unbelievable. Even though the EMP went off, very well calculated and fantastically, the dragon just saves the day and allows for Team Lunar to buy some breaths.
And they are going to finally have a chance to catch their breath, and they built up that Earth Shatter in that fight. As I said, they're going to have a Nano Boost as well, and that was the one fight they had to win. They used the Dragon Strike, fantastic at zoning, to just stop them from being able to follow up on the EMP. And
Hammer that! How did he see that coming? How did Battleborn, you mind-reading beast, that was allowed for them to take out 2-3 and force Interceptor to be intercepted all the way back to their spawn once more. What is going on here?
The situation they're in, though, they will probably be in a good situation to finish the map in 1 or 2 fights. But this is where what I really want to see out of these teams. Maybe not looking at just the fight ahead of them, but thinking multiple fights ahead, thinking 2 or 3 fights ahead, and thinking about your ultimate economy. A great hack on a Battle Boy is going to be a good engage tool, but that's a great pick as well.
And here comes the dragon just up in the high ground, but basically forcing on that. Even though it didn't get anybody, it forces darkness to be on the wrong side. Not at the cost with Sanity, the hero who dies just like in his movies, just like in the movies. Still, that buys only 1 minute left of the clock left for Interceptor.
I will say that so far we've seen some fantastic Dragon Strikes coming up from Sandy X. You don't need to be getting big kills, you just need to be looking to zone. Oh, that's a big grab to engage.
That's not looking very bleak. That is no saving grace with only a little bit left on the point. That grab might as well pull the payload all the way back to victory for Team Interceptor. Will they get it with nobody seeming able to contest at the moment? Hammer down, stopped, and big EMP shatters. And the Zenyatta is basically saving his teammate. Everybody's just popping their ulti. The left and right is now a brawl in favor of Team Interceptor, and he got moved into side. The Battleborn died without taking 2 people off the edge with him, and Sanity just running around until he gets hacked by the Sombra. It is looking very bleak, but Interceptor, despite being so close yet so far, they take the 3rd point.
This Reinhardt duel has been exciting. Each fight we've seen a hack, a utility advantage versus a man advantage come out, and that's just every fight. It's forced Interceptors to back off. That's why Sandy is building these Dragon Strikes so fast, and why that's why Interceptors only seem to have a few fights on point C there, because every time they lost someone's head to Santi and that trusty old bow. But right now, they still did capture. They captured with 12 seconds left as well. So even if Luna do capture all the way, and even if they have a massive time bank, we still will see another attack round coming out from the side of the Intercept.
That was I was hoping to see, even though that was a very enjoyable, very stalwart defense. We're just able to pull themselves all the way up back together. and just somehow pulled off a miracle and stopped up in just a little bit at the last moment. I don't know what the was in the water, but they drank it. Then suddenly they were able to adapt very swiftly.
That coach just clearly put something in their cereal this morning, I'll say that much. But looking at the defense here, they are going to have the Sombra again. It got a lot of value that, those EMPs were massive every time. The one thing I'm concerned about is, are they going to be able to follow up on them? That was the thing we saw holding them back in those fights. Good Dragon Strikes from Sandy coming out to zone them off and keep his team alive. They are going to have an early scout advantage on what they're running, though. So Season 7 is going to be able to relay information to his team as they approach the choke, and it does look like it's going to be on a Ghost, but with the Junkrat, so maybe anticipating that Goat's composition, although they are going to have an advantage while Season 7 is not present.
And rushing in through the hotel, they're looking up for a very early fight in such a very tight area. The question is who is going to boost and engage, as Bush Lawsuits are already properly ready with their E. Both Reinhardt are just looking at each other, building their shatter quickly, but Joel Smith just loses his mech very early on, not very looking good for them. Looks like Team Lunar Eclipse are just going to rush back to their spawn very swiftly.
One thing I want to bring to the attention of the viewers here is to keep your eye on the bubble usage of these Zaryas. That's usually what causes an engage in these Goats compositions. Who uses the bubble first? I often consider it a very high stakes game of chicken and all.
Look at Chase Torch. Oh, look at
he's
that.
looking for
Metal
it.
Gear Solid!
Oh!
Amazing shatter, but not sacrificing himself to the Riptire. But it doesn't matter. That might give the advantage to the team. The question is, will Lunivore want to engage in this situation? Looks like they are engaging, rushing up through the hotel. A very pissed off Dark Rising just rushes up with blue stuff, taking out the Zen. And even though that was a very good sneak charge, the Lunar Eclipse just takes the point. Hammer time, but who does it get? Oh, it looks like it's just going back and forth. A big EMP. That's a huge EMP, basically not looking good for Team Lunar. It might drive them back off and the advantage of the defenders. Rushing back, they're getting spread around. Yep, they are rushing back to their spawn with even barely one tick, but just not able to make it thus far.
I was very surprised they chose to re-engage without waiting for their Reinhardt. They had the spawn advantage and they had traded very well in that fight, but they chose to engage without their main tank, and that was what cost them. They had no space created after that fight started. However, they are going to have a few ultimates in this fight, and Season 7 is nowhere near that EMP, so the only thing they have to find is a sound barrier. That's a great pick to start this off as well.
He is nowhere near alive at this moment, as basically they're going out to the blue stuff is up now. It's just a huddled dogpile of with the Earth Chapter giving wide berth for Joel Smith to have his ult taken out. Looks like this play has won the first point for Team Lunar Eclipse.
All three tank ultimates, but that was a beautiful bigger bang combo coming out. It does look like Santi is in fact going to get staggered. They're looking for those late chases, although he has actually forced some very funny positioning from the side of the Interceptor, so maybe... No, they've regrouped. That won't be punished, but Chase does have a shadow here, so they may well look for that, and Santi is looking to counter that with a Riptire, maybe a big one here. But either way, looking to just push them back, push them to the corner, not take the fight at the choke. We talked about this earlier. Oh, that's
hammered down. Finds nothing, but here comes the Q, here comes Insanity with something big. Takes out two. That's basically this Q for Battleboard to charge, and now forcing the team back. This is gonna be a little bit smooth sailing around the first couple of corners for Team Lunar.
Zada's behind him actually. Maybe he's looking for a pick and trying to build up his chance, but his team has to get him out of here because he's not like a diva who can fly back. He is going to get staggered out very badly here if he doesn't find some value. However, look at what happened there because they pushed deep. They played it a lot better than the side of the Interceptors did, and they didn't take the fight of the choke, and he actually very nearly... Oh, Vitato nearly finds Santi, and that's a very good shadow from Banalo.
That is nothing good for fight. Will he come here to save the team? That positioning did them a huge disservice, but somehow with that grab they're able to take out 2 or 3, and finally the Transcendence is out. Yeah, maybe I spoke too soon. I like being wrong sometimes. Team Lunar Eclipse actually loses this fight and runs back.
Actually, Vitata really forced some funny positioning from Sandy there. That was great. Sandy didn't see him and then had to duck into the metro station to survive, meaning he couldn't put damage onto the front line. And that allowed that even after the shadow came out from Battle Ball, he couldn't put down the damage, he couldn't follow up. And Season 7 Sucks hit a massive EMP onto making sure that Night Shield couldn't put down the Nano Boost and Joel Smith couldn't put down the Diva Bomb, making sure there was no burst healing available for that team there.
That was any less of a transcendence. Here comes a big no, just only takes one Banshee, who is very resting, falling asleep, but no follow-up for him to take him out. Joel Smith with the disadvantage of not having his car. Hopefully his insurance gonna be up to bring up pretty fast. Not until Sanity finding vengeance and taking out VT22 from the high ground. This is the... And slowly here comes the Riptide, just going up with T's thinking hunting now is less, yes, huge. No line shield. This is not looking good for Team Interceptors at the moment, as they're flunging around, being spreading, trying to burn as much time as possible. With only 1 minute left on the clock, blue stuff on Battle Ball and not, but the charge is stopped by a big AMP. Not until he finds Vitata once more, takes it up. Sanity, this looks good. Will they able? Luna just have to put one and a huge shatter in their side as I speak this. That might be all they need to push towards the second point. With only just need to get that pesky Lucio off their windshield. We are going to the third point thus far.
So important that fight. Night Shield put the Nano Boost onto Battle Ball right before Season 7 Suggs hit the EMP, allowing him to survive for longer, allowing him to stay alive even without cooldowns. And if that didn't happen, I think we may have saw a hold at the end of point B there, but we don't. And now they're going to push straight in. They have the Graviton Tire combo. They have a bigger bang combo as well if they want to use that instead. Oh, that's a good grab though.
And here comes one of the big bang combos, but he's just finding around, taking out two! It's big, it's huge, it is humongous. As one basically going around the corner with only 1 minute and 20 seconds left. If they get this, they'll have a question. Well, they have more time. Okay, with one left to the group, looks like we're gonna have one last fight going on our hands at the moment. And the brawl starts. Ham swing ring. There comes the bubble up and a big grab. Transcendence trying to save the day. Takes Chase in the back. Another big bang, but Chase sacrificing himself for nothing. But it's all in vain, as with 55 seconds, 54, sorry, left on the clock. Lunar Eclipse is going to take the second round.
The Diva Bomb did come out late for that bigger bang, but it's all fine. It did seem like Chase was trying to pin that bomb away from his team, but he didn't get the Zarya bubble in time because he was shattered, and that was probably what would have won them that round. He pinned it away so they wouldn't die. No one else did die aside from him, but like I say, no Zarya bubble, he's not going to survive that, and now they're fighting an uphill battle with this time bang, and this is what we wanted to see from Luna. We wanted to see them take their advantages and push it, and they did a great job of not even using defensive ultimates, but more offensive ultimates to deal with the engages of the side of the Interceptors. So, creative uses of tires and Dragon Strikes throughout the series from Luna, and I'm really liking their play right now. And I think we may well be going to Ilios here if they keep it up.
I don't know how hyped are you, but I'm personally very hyped for Game 3, and I hope everybody else who's watching, and thanks for watching by the way, would see that match, because I do enjoy a very good brawly control point kind of fighting style, you know?
Control is also one of my favorite maps. In particular, I like the recently released Busan, but of course Ilios is in the future, and right now we're looking at King's Row, and on the defense, we do see this Junkrat coming out again, and I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, and it seems like the side of the Interceptors also believe their composition isn't broke, so the same matchups as we just saw last round now, only flipped sides, red attacking, blue defending. Let's see what they can make out of this and see if we can.
That's Season 7. Oh, look at that! Look at that ninja breaking out, hacking the electronics off her car. Does not look good for her at the moment, as this is a cue for the red team to charge and pushing them off the point. With now no barrier for the Reinhardt, who's gonna build their ult faster. With Team Interceptor dominating the point, and Chase Torches cuts that Lucio up M2. It does not look good for Lunar at the moment. Looks like they're gonna take this one pretty early as the domino effects goes into play here. Lunar is going down and Interceptor is just gonna take the first point. 7
That,
seconds, 6 seconds left on the clock.
that was a great position to be in if the Interceptors now, though, because even if you don't push the payload far, and they won't be able to leave the payload to push their advantages here either. You have the EMP, you have the Earthshatter, but even if you don't push it, just getting that first point gives you a great position to, you know, do a full hold. That's very common on these extra attack rounds, should I say. But Season 7 has to get in position. He has to find a good EMP on the front line. He's looking for it right now.
Combo with
the Earthshatter.
That combo effect. Season 7 is pretty pissed off. He just gets an EMP, remembering all the terrible time he had during Season 7, and just all the frustration and combo just rewarding for him. And looks like the payload is going through far even despite overtime. This is looking huge for Interceptors right now.
This payload is going very far. This is actually you need to be getting on this payload quickly, and you cannot let them get point 2 if you are Luna. They're lacking their Reinhardt, though, so they need to get back and speed boost their Reinhardt in, and they're gonna have to touch it right at the end here with the nano boost. This is big.
Oh no, here comes basically a graph and a transcendence to save the blue. Hammer down, doesn't find anything blocked by Chase. That is not looking good for Lunar at the moment. Losing up the Reinhardt Charity up in the top, trying to shoot and get something. Oh, he got the Zenyatta, but unless he gets taken out from himself, he's looking so bleak at the moment for Team Lunar. Was only they're holding their breath and waiting the ult as much as they can. Not very looking good in the alt economy. They actually took the second point. Interceptor has just won overtime.
They are still in overtime, though, and we haven't seen Lunar attack yet. It could go back in their favor, but this is a fantastic push, and if you are Lunar, you just want to stop this payload as soon as possible. You do not want to let it get around that corner, because once you get there, that's a very good stalling out point, and the further this gets, the worse and worse it seems for Lunar.
And while you say that, it's looking so good right now for Team. Oh, that fire strike! That fire strike, they got burned, and here, oh, that dragon grab basically might save the day, and is so close getting to the third point at the moment. Yes, finally they're pushed back, but look how far Team Interceptor has pushed to the point. Almost 3 points.
Interceptors may well have captured that, have captured that point. The distance between finishing the map and not 3 meters or so is just negligible. There is almost no difference between that. So Luna are going to have to bring their A game and really, show us what they showed us on attack of the first round if they want to send us to Ilios here and, give us our desired control map that we were talking about earlier. But we're about to see what these teams are going to roll out with, at least for the Instalocks here on this, what is guaranteed, should I say, to be the final round of King's Row. And it does look like they're going to run out with the Ghost composition. Although, actually, they're just going to run standard Ghosts. They're going to stick to Old Faithful here. They know what's on the line, and they are really going to hopefully, get a Night Chill now playing the Moira as well. So looking for a bit more of a consistent healing rather than the burst healing that Honor provides.
I don't know who and what they're playing to, but they're digging deep. They're digging deep into their heart, deep into their faith, just to pull off. There's only 1 minute and 42 seconds on the clock, and they have a long road ahead. Let's see finally whoever deity they're praying, their prayers be answered, and it is time.
It is time indeed, and right now, like I said in the first round, watch the bubbles. This is now a Ghost v Ghost matchup, so you want to see them quickly. There goes the bubble and a Chase Torch. You may want to push this if you are Luna right now.
Basically, right, just again, they're going through the hotel one more time, and Chase, squashing right into the wall. We have no vacancy in this hotel, he tells them, and pushing back into the point. With 1 minute left on the clock, looks like there's not insufficient faith. Looks like they need a change of religion for Lunar at the moment. It does not look good for them with 1 minute left on the clock. I hope they're doing off a miracle, because I love miracles right now.
I will say though, look at Chase Torch's shield health compared to Battleborn. his health is so high, although the Riptire is going to come
Can
out,
you
so
hear that?
maybe they can find a pick.
Can you hear that? It's clear by Hammerdam takes out Joel Smith, but he's just out of the car. He's still free roaming around. Never mind, he gets taken out with just only 2 tanks left alive and being spread. This is looking so good for Lunar. Well, might have a deja vu for a minute ago. Let's see if they were able to pull. Oh, they're gonna get the first point. They got the first point. Let's see if they're able to gonna push it all the way because it's not over. It's not over. It's such a long road ahead, and it's going to be very clutchy.
It's going to be a tough road ahead, but Sandy has been coming up clutch on this Junkrat. Clearly a favourite pick of him. Although, crucially, they're going to get the hold of the choke. This is what the side of the Interceptors actually avoided with their aggression. So they need to win a fight at a very unfavourable attacker's position right now. This is tragic if you are a fan of Team Luna right now. But they are going to have a few ultimates, they're going to be a Shatter, and they're going to have that pick onto Darkness, which is the best thing they could find.
I believe in miracles, and basically they're just going out and around the corner, knowing they're one less of a Brigitte, and they're like stacking up their ult, and knowing they have so much distance between them and victory. Maybe they're trying to take their time to get some victory. Hammer down, takes it 2, and will the Reptile follow up with something? It goes up, it goes in, and it scores 1. This is looking so good right now. Oh, Battle Boy is down, but the question is, will he able to get? No. Looks like he's going to have a very long road ahead of him. This is not looking good for Lunar. So the Reinhardt, even though they might take the second point, we will see. Looks like they're gonna engage him. Rally's out. Oh, the amazing! With knowing there's no Reinhardt, this does not look good for. No, I can't see anything at the moment. It's very hard. It's very clutch. It's very stalemate. Thus far, Battle Ball right around the corner is basically running to support his teammate. The grab up on the payload with just enough time for him to put up his shield. Hammer down, saves most of his teammates. Only the Diva loses her mech at the moment, but oh no, the Chase Towards losing. Takes out their Reinhardt. Lunar's in a big trouble at the moment. Was basically brawling around and hammers and flares swinging. Moira just trying to keep her teammates alive, but looks like might also road it. It might be GZ as all the team trickling in one by one and just being taken out. This looked very bleak. It's GG for Team Interceptors.
The mistake that the side of Luna made there is, rather than coming back and, taxiing back their Reinhardt, instead, Date Service actually pushed up and tried to boop the front line of the Interceptors away. Now, had he went back and maybe speed boosted Battle Ball back to the point, front line for that fight, and had a good chance to, use that Shatter and pick an engage, but instead, by the time Battle Ball got back, there was nearly none of his team alive, and there was nothing he could do to save that point. But both teams, of course, coming out with a fantastic performance here, and really, pushing it the distance, pushing it to the end of to overtime on King's Row, and very nearly pushing it to Ilios as well. So both teams with fantastic performances today, but it does look like Interceptors will be your third place here at Oversalt Bronze Top 500.
That is correct, and and basically up next soon, joining us. I believe. Hold on. I believe who is gonna next the finals. When is the finals again? Is it after this match?
The finals have also been played alongside this one. So, both teams that made it through the finals, of course, one of which we saw earlier today, Sarcasm Squad, which was casted by our friends Lookstar and the 64-bit Wolf. So be sure to check that out if you guys have the time. But I believe that is actually going to be all we have today.
That is indeed everyone for joining us. Please, basically, a big shout out to the producers and the casters of Oversalt, Claudette, Reef. Everybody knows who they are. If anybody's watching this, please give our Twitch channel a follow. As well, subscribe to the Oversalt official channel. We usually do this weekly. We're doing this for free, and we're just doing this as a hobby to bring you all further content. This is Ferex, your play-by-play, along with your caster Yukoi. UK.
Yokai.
Look, it's been a privilege, and thanks everybody, and I hope you have a lovely weekend.